Okay, so it is mid-April, and what is going on with our local Tulsa area real estate market? Well, if you rely on the headlines, you're probably still confused. The headlines still speak of market crashes, manipulating data that is accurate, but is very much misinterpreted to not show the real picture. So things, nationally and here locally in the Tulsa area, have definitely picked up for the spring market. We are seeing an uptick in that, but, really prices have stabilized, but they're still trending up. And so I think one of the big messages that I want to get out is that if you are, I just read an article that a lot of millennials believe that the market is going to crash. So they're sitting on the sidelines, waiting for that downturn in the market. And honestly, I've been saying this since 2020. I do not see it happening just simply because of supply and demand. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to go, into real life data. I'm going to show you the stats and help you interpret that, accurately so you can really see what's going on and get a feel for that. And if this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living in Tulsa, Oklahoma or the surrounding suburbs, then tap that little bell notification and subscribe so you can be the first to know what's going on in our local Tulsa area real estate market. And if you hear little pitter-pattering or breathing, that is my dogs. I used to put them up for videos. And then they just get sad and whine, so they're just out and around. Sometimes, if we have another cat or dog come through the come by the window, they're going to interrupt and bark. But, the little breathing or the little pitter-pattering, that is my dogs. I'm Sabrina Shaw with eXp Realty, and my team and I get calls every single day from people just like you who need help making that move to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And let me tell you, we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, jump on a Zoom call, and we would love to help you make that seamless move to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, so this just came out on the 10th, and so this data is, basically a month behind. It's April 17th today, but we're going to look at this data, and then we're going to compare it to some live data. But I want you to notice this, first off, closed listings. So closed listings are down, almost 25%. So when you're reading those headlines, like the housing market has gone down, 25%, that's a lot. It is. And pending listings are down 16%. That means houses that have gone under contract. So those headlines are easy to make terrifying. Look at average sales price though. So last year, March of 2022, the average sales price was $282,000, and some change. March 2023, the average list price is $315,000. So up almost 12%. So then you go to the average sales price. So, list price is what it's put on the market for. Average sales price is what it's sold for. So March of last year, it was $284,000. And this year it's $311,000. So up 10%. Now, historically real estate averages about 3% a year. That's pretty much, normal appreciation. 2020, 2021, the first part of 2022, we saw crazy appreciation that just wasn't sustainable. Now here in Oklahoma, our prices, were really low, and still nationwide. Like when you look at some slides I'm not going to show you today, but on another video, I'll show you, our area is still one of the most affordable places to live. So people making the average median income can afford the average median house. And, in our area, it's a lot better than other parts of the United States. But that'll be a different video. Okay, now this is what I want you to look at. And this is something, especially in the past months, yes, buyers have been able to get closing costs paid. Sometimes they're getting, I wrote a contract the other day, we got $20,000 off the price. Now the property was overpriced to begin with, so sellers had to be super careful, with where they're pricing the property. We weren't seeing that, this time last year. But I want you to look at this. The average percent of selling price to list price. 2022, it was 101% average. We were going over list price. Today, 99.41%. So remember, that's an average. If you think you're going to offer $50,000 below asking, that's not happening. That was the 2008 market, and that was total different dynamics. People nowadays, they're equity rich, and they really don't have to sell. Average days on market is increasing. Okay, so this time last year, the average days on market was 18. This year in March, we were at 31, up 69%. Another headline that you can really turn into something crazy. But this is where supply and demand has played out. Why I have said since 2020 that the supply and demand is the reason that the market is going to crash. There are more buyers on the market than there are houses for sale. So last year we had 1,990 homes on the market at this time. This year we have 1,363. So we're down 30%. And remember these numbers. Okay, look, I said we're down in closed sales and pending sales. So 23 plus 16% is 39%. We're down 31%. So really that's just an 8% difference. So when you're looking at all the mathematics of it, it really is pretty even. And then look at this month supply of inventory. We're lower than we were last year. 1.69 month supply of inventory. That is a seller's market. That means that if all the buyers were out and there were no more houses that came on the market, that in 1.69 months, we would run out of inventory if nothing else came on the market. That is the seller's market, and that is down 12%. It is important to look at, different price levels because that changes too. This is an average of, 100,000, even lower than that, the lowest price house to the highest price house. This is an average. Let's look deeper and see what we're seeing. I'm going to just show you what I like to look at. I like to look at the month supply of inventory by price. Okay, we know that entry-level housing is the hardest. For one, new buyers that are doing entry-level are up against investors, which a lot of times are cash buyers. So that is hard. That's where there's the most competition. So if you look at these numbers, remember I said 1.69%, average through everything. But if we're at 150,000 or less, 3 and 4 bedroom is less than a month's supply. 150 to 225,000, 3 and 4 bedroom, less than a month's supply. And this is Tulsa County, if I didn't say that. 225 to 300,000. Okay, 3 bedrooms is 1.13. 4 bedrooms is less than a month's supply. I'm not going over every data point because, most people are looking for 3-4 bedrooms. 300 to 475, which is 28% of our inventory, 2.26 month supply and 1.93 month supply. Still under. Remember, a balanced market is, some people say between 5 to 6 months supply of inventory, between 4 to 6 months supply of inventory. In this market, really, a balanced market is between 4 and 6. Now, I just said that. Look, when we're at 475 to 525, we're at 4 months supply of inventory. 4 bedrooms, 4 months supply of inventory. That is a balanced market. That's not in favor of the buyer or the seller. You're going to get, most likely there's less competition, can get a little bit of concessions. And a lot of this too is there's a lot of new construction in this price range. And new construction is priced higher, but then there are costs. You've got to think about the cost of your home insurance is going to be less. Your utilities are most likely going to be less because most new construction is, very energy efficient. So, there are some things to think about when you're looking at new construction that offset, that initial price sticker. Okay, and then going 525 to 675. In 3 bedrooms, you're at 4.4 months. At 4 bedrooms, you're at 5.98. So, we're almost, we could be in a buyer's market right there. Really, we are historically balanced, definitely not as many buyers in this market. And then 675 and up, which is interesting, it goes down to 4.38 month supply, 3.82 month supply, 4.3 month supply. So more balanced in the higher priced homes, which that's what we're seeing too, is we're definitely seeing more luxury buyers being active, in the market. So that's one data point I like to look at. Average days on market. This is a good one too. I said our average days on market, if we go back up here, was think it was 30, 31. Okay, but average days on market. So in your 100 to 150 range, 9 days, 4 bedroom, 58 days. And initially you might think, why would something so cheap be on the market so long? Well, if you're buying a home that's 4 bedrooms at 100,000 to 150,000, I'm going to make, not so wild guess that it is not in great shape and it's going to be a fixer upper, and those kind of properties are not appealing to everybody. And so they're going to stay on the market longer. 150 to 200, 18 to 28 days. And I'm going to say the same thing, a house between 150 and 200 that you can get that's 4 bedroom isn't going to be great, most likely. 200 to 300,000. 3 beds is 26 days on market. 4 beds is 33 days on market average. 300 to 375, 26 days on market, 40 days on market. 375 to 25, 32 days on market, 47 days on market. And then it went up in that higher price range, 89, 48. And then there's one more data point that I like to dig in on. And remember, this was talking about, average sales price, percent of average sales price, because it was 99.4. Basically a 0.5% off. And so look at this, 100 to 150, it's still going over at 3 bedrooms, almost 4% down at 4 bedrooms. And again, we discussed why, most likely. 99% between 150 and 200,000. Let's put that in perspective. Let's go to the high of 200,000. 1% of that is $2,000. So that's not a lot to get discounted. 200 to 300,000. 3 bedroom is less than 1%. 4 bedroom is about 2%. So 300,000, that could be 6,000 off. 3 to 375, less than 1%. 375 to 525. Remember, this is so interesting because we saw that more balanced market, even, at one point, a little bit of the buyer's market, still on average, less than, 1% here, not even 0.5%, and, just 1.5% here, and 525 in it. That 4 bedroom, still 99%. So, and 1.5% right here. So again, I know that I keep drilling in supply and demand, but it's just that mentality. And I think I want to drill it in so much is because when I work with, some buyers that maybe have bought around, 2008, 2009, it's just a total different expectation. And so you're hearing the same headlines, that our economy is, not being great. We hear inflation, we hear, things going wrong. And so that makes you think, okay, housing, but the housing market isn't being affected like that because of supply and demand. And then this is interesting too. Okay, so this is, from last year, which is the data that we talked about earlier, but this is year to date from 2022 to 2023. So it puts it in a different perspective. So closed sales are down 27%. Pending sales are down 18%. Let's jump down to that inventory, which is down 31%. So again, remember how I said that kind of evened out with closed and pending sales. So we've got 45% right here and 31% right here. So not as drastic a difference from March, or more of a drastic difference from, March of last year to March of this year. I mean, that's almost 15% down in sales, for year over year. And we've got to say that when the interest rates spiked, we really did see a freeze in the market. There was still buying and selling going on. People, there are life circumstances where you have to buy and sell a house. But so this year over year, we're still down about 15% from last year. And then month supply of inventory is the same. And let's just look at days on market. Days on market is very similar. Year to date, we're at about 1.2% in percent of selling price to list price. So that is Tulsa County. I want to show you just one more thing. So that's March. Okay, we're in April. And just for the sake of numbers and being fast, well, no, I'm going to keep it 15 days. What closed in the past 15 days? What went under contract in the past 15 days? That's what I want to look at. And I'm just looking in Bixby School District right now. Okay, 39. That brings it down a little bit. So in real time, this went pending in 5 days. When it's pending, we can't see, we don't know what it went under contract for. Went pending first day on market. Went pending, this one was 42 days on market. 1 day on market. This one was 35 days on market. 66 days on market. This is new construction, and new construction actually skews the data too, because you know, a lot of people aren't going to put a contract in on a new construction house when it's not ready, and they start advertising new construction when they start building. So new construction can really skew our average days on market. So that's another reason like it's good to look at that. 3 days, 38 days, 7 days, 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, 44 days, 63 days, 18, 4, 18, first day on market, 27. So this was on for 74 days, must have fallen out of contract most likely, and then was on for 27. 10 days. And like our prices are going up. 123 days. Okay, this was, you know, this was a longer one. We're in that 575 price range. 239 days. This was a new construction. So that data is a little bit skewed. 3 days for 620,000. 34 days. 645,000 was 80, so it must have went back on market, or maybe they, you know, took it off market, but it was on and then came back. Okay, now we're at closed sales. So let's look at this too. So this closed April 10th. It went under contract most likely 30 days prior. So around March 10th, it was about 3,000 off. So when we talk about like just using this example, and let me see if any closing costs were paid. No closing costs were paid. So just using this example, you know, I'm rounding, you know, 1% would be 1,850. Okay. It was a little bit more than that, but it was about 1% off. This one went over, you know, 199. This one was 207. No closing costs paid. This one was listed for 260. It went under contract for 250. So that actually, you know, but this was about 5%. 250 was list price, it went for 254. 285 list price, it went for 269, quite a bit lower. 275 went for 275. 340 went for 340. 389 went for 389. 405 went for 390. That price per square foot, so this is the original price per square foot, and that's high. So I think, you know, without looking at it, it was overpriced to begin with. 435 went for 430. 479 went for 482. That was new construction, and likely it went over due to upgrades. 489 went for 489. 539 went for 540. 650 went for 643. So what I want you to see there is the stabilization. So we saw some that, you know, plenty that went for, you know, asking and list price were the same. We saw some that went over, but we weren't seeing crazy amounts over, which is, you know, and this is only the past 7 days. It's homes that went pending the past 7 days and the homes that closed roughly like 30 to 37 days ago. You know, so we're not seeing crazy amounts over. So as a buyer, you have to have in your mind that you could be over, but you don't have to necessarily go crazy. You really, you know, you really don't. And then, but you're also not going to, unless the house is just completely overpriced, which we can look at that. We can look at comps to see, you know, you don't want to just put an offer on a house and not look at the comps. You can get it, you know, down. We saw a couple significant ones, but they were probably overpriced to begin with. So this is showing you a realistic look at the market, and a market that is not crashing. It's a market that's stabilized. It's a market that's healthy. I just did Bixby Public School, or I did Bixby School District. And just for the sake of time, I mean, this is already 22 minutes. You know, once my editors go through and edit some things, you know, it won't be at 22. I mean, I could do this for anything, but this is going to mimic, it's going to mimic Jinx. It's going to mimic, you know, Owasso, Tulsa, you know, a lot of parts. So just keep that in mind. If you have any questions about something specific and you'd like me to, you know, drill down even more for you on a Zoom, like I can record a video for you, you know, for a house, for a neighborhood, for a subdivision, you know, for a school district, and, you know, just help you understand the market and what you're purchasing. So that is our market for where it stands now. Now I can always like dive in super deep, and things do change by neighborhood and they change by town. So I just gave you, you know, a few of the popular, I gave you Tulsa itself and a few of the popular suburbs outside the Tulsa metro. There's rural areas, like Creek County is its whole different animal and has totally different data, you know, than Tulsa County. So, you know, if you're considering something else, you know, reach out to me and we can, you know, we can do this, what I'm doing now, you know, specifically in an area you want, or, you know, we can analyze different areas for you. And if this video is useful to you, tap that little thumbs up and like, and Also, I would love for you to leave a comment and tell me about any videos that you would like me to record. So anyway, I would love to show you around, and make sure you reach out to us if you're thinking about making a move to Tulsa, Oklahoma.